So, Hazy, do you have any idea what you're in for?
No.
Creepypasta story. Poopsy, I'm sorry. By Poopsy666. Okay. Poopsy was a normal girl who was 11 years old, but she had a special mind. The other girls were all not as special and teased Poopsy. The main bully was called Bertha, and she wore a purple cardigan and had blonde hair. It was lunch at school and kids were eating when Bertha walked up to Poopsy. "Poopsy, you are ugly and no one loved you," said Bertha to Poopsy's face. Poopsy sat on her own as she had no friends. She was an underdog, a stray wolf, a black sheep, if you will. Poopsy cried, "It's not my fault," as Bertha laughed at her. Poopsy threw her tacos in the bin and went home. At home she cut herself because she was depressed. Her mother walked in and asked her if she wanted anything from the shop. So, she walks in on her daughter cutting herself. And then her first reaction is to ask what she wants from the fucking gas station. God damn it, don't stay silent on me.
I
Poopsy,
don't know.
Poopsy declined and went to bed, but the tragedy was, she really did want something from the shop. She wanted a knife to stab Bertha, but she sighed and figured it wasn't worth. But you were just cutting yourself. You do have a knife. Or was it with a razor blade? I mean, you could probably still kill someone with a razor blade. But the thought of it gave her a feeling in her heart. She wanted to kill Bertha, but she wouldn't. Not yet. It was the next day and the sun was shining. Poopsy had cereal for breakfast, but when licking her spoon clean and putting it back in the drawer, she took a knife. It was a brutal and ominous sharp knife, she imagined it, in Bertha's head and got the feeling again. At school she had the knife in her bag. At any moment she could whip it out and slice a fucker up, but she didn't. Not for now. Lunch came and she sat next to a boy named Grubbs. Grubbs had black hair and a bike which he rode to school on. Suddenly Bertha walked up to Poopsy. "So, Poopsy, have you seen the ghost recently?" cackled Bertha. "I didn't wish to be born like this," sighed Poopsy as she clutched the knife. Bertha spat in her face and walked away. This is some top-notch bullying right here.
Yeah.
"You can't let Bertha talk to you like that," said Grubbs. "You don't understand. I have a special mind," sighed Poopsy as she flicked her hair out of her eyes. "Oh man. Special mind." "Embrace it," smiled Grubbs. "I see ghosts too." Poopsy spat her milk. You see ghosts too?" "Yes, that is what I said Grubbs as he smiled. Poopsy finally had a friend. She and Grubbs at the cemetery together and saw ghosts.
Stupid.
"I'm finally happy," she cried with joy as she threw the knife at the ground. I don't need to kill Bertha," she thought to herself as she rode away with Grubbs on his bike. 2 months went by and Poopsy and Grubbs were officially dated. Poopsy strutted into school with a smile on her face. "Time for another day of kissing Grubbs," she smiled. Because that's apparently the only hobby she possesses. Suddenly she heard a scream that sounded both lovely yet horrifying. What? She ran to find out what the scream was, and she saw Grubbs lying on the floor with rocks on his head. Bertha stood opposite to him, throwing rocks at his head. "Stop it," cried Poopsy, "I love him." "I know, that's why I'm throwing rocks at him," said Bertha. Poopsy ran all the way to the cemetery to get the knife. Okay. She found it and ran back in school and jumped at Bertha. Hold on, let me just run all the way to the cemetery to get my knife. The two were fighting a battle of good versus evil. Poopsy had a knife, Bertha had rocks. Poopsy was obviously the better fighter, but then Bertha threw a rock and hit the knife out of Poopsy's hand. "That's the best you got? I can just pick the knife back up," chuckled Poopsy. She had a good mind to analyze situations well. "I know I can pick things up, so I am Einstein." As she went to pick it up again, she gasped. The knife had landed on Grubbs' face. "You monster!" screamed Poopsy. "Me? You're the one who dropped the knife into his head," smirked Bertha as she walked the glass. "Grubbs, you're the only one who understood me," whimpered Poopsy. You just watch someone fucking die and you just walk back the glass? Poopsy! moaned Grubs as his life ended. Poopsy was left by Grub's dead body in tears. She pulled the knife out of his face and saw blood on it. Grub's blood. The only way I can clear Grub's blood from my hands is with Bertha's blood, smiled Poopsy. She got that feeling again. The night Bertha climbed into bed. Okay, so no, everyone's just gonna ignore the dead body in the middle of the school hallway. Alright. The night Bertha climbed into bed, she snuggled up in the blanket and started off to snooze off, before she noticed a pair of eyes watching her. Who's there? Bertha yelled. Oh, I have a name, the voice said, but people tend to call me by other names. Crazy, weird, fat. Poopsy? Muttered Bertha. Suddenly, a figure jumped at Bertha, revealing herself as Poopsy, and stabbed Bertha with the same knife that killed Grubs. Bertha let out a scream as she died, and Poopsy whispered into her ears, I'm sorry I kill you. Fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah, that's one word.
So, any thoughts?
Yeah,
There is a sequel, in case you're wondering.
I'm good.
We can do that later. So, there is a bit of fan art for this character.